Good afternoon. Welcome to the State of the County's Membership Luncheon, sponsored by Community First Bank, HFG Trust. I'm Lori Matson, President and CEO of the Tri-City Regional Chamber. Both Benton and Franklin counties play a crucial role in the local economic development growth by providing essential services and infrastructure that support businesses and communities. The Tri-City Regional Chamber has had the pleasure of partnering with both the counties over the last several years, providing grant funds to businesses that were impacted by COVID, and we've really enjoyed our partnerships. So today we're joined by Benton County Commissioner Michael Alvarez and Franklin County Commissioner Stephen Bauman. I'm looking forward to hearing about county projects that are driving economic growth in our region. So now it's my pleasure to introduce the Chamber's Chair of the Board, Amy Bachet, and she's going to take us through the rest of the program. So please help me welcome Amy.
Thanks, Lori. All right, good afternoon, everybody. So it's my pleasure today to be able to announce our guest speakers for this afternoon. So first is Franklin County Commissioner Stephen Bauman. Stephen Bauman is the Franklin County Commissioner for District 1 and was appointed to the Commission in January of 2024. Commissioner Bauman is a lifelong Franklin County resident. He spent his professional career as a developer and currently owns and operates B4 Development in Pasco. Commissioner Bauman is also the chair of the Franklin County Republican Party. He has spent his life and career volunteering in his church, civic organizations, and has always been a strong community voice in Pasco. He currently serves on the Ben Franklin Transit Board, the FC Law and Justice Council, Washington County's Risk Pool, WSAC Legislative Steering, and Washington Historic Preservation Grant Committee. Please help me welcome Commissioner Stephen Bauman to the stage.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Bauman, the brand new commissioner in Franklin County, and thank you for being here today. Being the new guy, I was fortunate enough to draw the short straw, so I get to go first. So you have to give me a little bit of grace as I walk through this, having not done it before, but I'm looking forward to sharing with you some of the highlights of Franklin County, and so with that, we'll get underway. First slide we have is some of the partners that we have in Franklin County and some of the people that we work with on a weekly basis. And I'm going to step aside here for a minute if the video will play, and we're going to share with you a little video that we put together. And so with that, if you would please cue the video.
Our county is governed by our county commissioners who all work together to make sure their constituents are well represented, whether they live in Pasco, Connell, Mesa, Colotis, or Basin City. The county administrator's role is to work with our elected officials and their offices to make sure that their voices are heard and the citizens of Franklin County receive the best customer service possible. Franklin County government has a lot of moving parts. Our biggest job at Franklin County is without a doubt public safety. 75% of our budget goes to support things like our sheriff's office who patrols our rural roads, our jail that can house 300 inmates, our public defender's office, our prosecuting attorney's office that works with our district and superior courts. The City of Pasco's municipal court is also housed in our Law and Justice Center on Franklin County's campus. At Franklin County, we have a lot of other functions as well. Our county assessor's office is responsible for tax valuations. The auditor's office runs all of the elections in Franklin County and maintains the integrity of our election system. Our Public Works Department maintains thousands of miles of rural roads that support the incredible ag industry in Franklin County. Our Planning and Building Department plays an essential role in economic development and issues construction permits and makes sure codes and standards are met. Our Treasurer's Office acts as the bank of Franklin County. Our Clerk of the Court houses and maintains all of our records associated with court cases in Franklin County. We also manage the Noxious Weed Board and the Horticulture Pest and Disease Board that make sure that all of our ag lands are safe. makes Franklin County so special are small towns like Helotes, Washington, and iconic places like the Farmer's Daughter. This town has a history of the railroads, dry land farming, and it's just one of the many towns that make Franklin County a special place. Basin City is probably best known for the Freedom Rodeo, which was established in 2020, but really the heartbeat of Basin City is ag. This town was established in the 1950s in large part because of the Columbia Basin Project. We're in one of my favorite towns, Connell, Washington, originally established in 1883 as a railroad town. It has grown into an incredible community of more than 5,000 residents. The Connell community has been built on things like the railroad, agriculture, and iconic places like the pizza station that people from all across Franklin County love to visit.
Sometimes pictures is worth 1,000 words, and so I thought if we gave you a few pictures, it would help better describe some of our rural areas. This kind of shows you the structure of the commissioner's office and the way that the elected office of the commissioners work, and then of course that each of the other elected officials have the structure within with their own department. And primary who I would work with on a day-to-day basis is our county administrator. Commissioners serve on a lot of boards. This is a list of the boards that I serve on, and then the other commissioners would also serve on many boards. And it's unique. Some weeks you feel like you have a light week when you have only 3 or 4 different board or commission meetings, and occasionally those meetings will go for a number of hours. And so there's some weeks that can get pretty long, and very thankful for staff to be able to help us navigate through, especially me being new. One of the biggest challenges that I had as a new commissioner was learning the flow of information and how to pass that information back and forth. So I'm thankful for all the people that have helped to do that. Mike is our county administrator, and he would be the one that I would work with on a daily, if not hourly basis. Appreciative for his consistent help as I've learned the role of commissioner, and would encourage you, his email address and phone number is there on the screen. If there's anything going on in Franklin County that you have questions about that you can't get a hold of a commissioner, please feel free to reach out to Mike, and Mike likes to say that he's the most accessible person in Franklin County, and I would agree with that. So Mike, thank you for always being consistent and answering the phone, whether I call you at 6 a.m. or 11 p.m., which happens quite frequently. So next step, the biggest facility that Franklin County manages is the HAPO Center, and so just walk with you through that just a little bit. The HAPO Center is an 85,000 square foot event center and arena that generates a lot of economic development in the area for both the county and the city. Currently, that facility is about 30 years old, and the original vision of that facility reached out 30 years, and that has been a partnership with the City of Pasco, and we have been currently in conversation with the City of Pasco, trying to identify what that partnership looks like going forward. So we have about a month left to decide what the next step would be, and So looking forward to those next steps, and just appreciate the City of Pasco's partnership on that. Some of the other information about the HAPO Center. One of the first things that I seen as I was appointed to fill a one-year remainder in a commissioner's term, and was that the HAPO Center needed to be addressed quickly. With that, myself, our Government Affairs Director, Jason Valentine, and our County Administrator went to work. We went to Olympia a number of times, and really want to say appreciate our state legislators that were so diligent to work with us to help teach me the process of what it is to go and ask for state funding for some of this. So we were awarded $3 million from the state legislator in the budget to work on updating the arena for the HVAC system. Needs an upgrade. Actually, there is no air conditioning on the arena side. There's only heaters that are 30 years old, so it really needs an update. And so very thankful that we were awarded $3 million to help with that. That's not enough, and we have been working diligently with our congressional leaders and have asked them for $5 million to help with that as well. And so thankful for those that have met with us on a number of occasions, and look forward to continue working through that, and we hope to be able to bring some additional funding to that facility. And the facility has a lot of components that are old. It needs some remodeling on the inside. It needs remodeling and maintenance on the outside. And so we believe that it needs between $8 and $10 million worth of upgrades and improvements. We're trying to bring it up to the state mandated energy code. And so there's a number of things that we're trying to do there. For the funds that we can't get from the state and the federal side of things, we have some .09 economic development funds that we can finish the project. That's one question that was asked on several occasions is, if you don't get this funding, can you still do the project? And my answer was yes, but. And the but being, if we have to use the funds that we have in .09 to do this, it won't be able to go as far. And so we've been diligently working on that, trying to make that happen. The HAPO Center also last fall, we hired some new management for that facility. Very thankful for the Harris White Leisure team that has come on alongside of the county to manage that facility. They're here today, so Harris White Leisure, thank you for your influence and leadership there at the HAPO Center. We are planning to go through a master plan on that, and not just for the facility itself, but for the surrounding properties. The City of Pasco owns some adjacent properties. They have the baseball stadium that they've recently came into some new agreements that facility will expand in its use. So really looking forward to going through this master plan process with the City of Pasco and really seeing how that we can maximize the use of this facility for our community. We've also got a grant funding for a solar array that will go on the east side of the east building. And so that's just in its infancy, but we have been awarded those grant fundings, and so we look forward to getting that project underway. With electrical and COVID and some of the backlogs that have happened, some of the components and the equipment there's long lead times, so some of that process has already been got underway. It just takes a long time from the beginning till when we actually see things happen. And so in the next year and a half, 2 years, we anticipate upgrading that facility with upwards of $10 million worth of improvements on that facility. So really looking forward to seeing the gym that can be in our community. A little bit about Franklin County. Franklin County is a little over 1,200 square miles. Franklin County is the fastest growing county in the state of Washington. Within Franklin County is the City of Pasco. The City of Pasco, I've heard a lot of numbers, and as we research this, a number that I could go back to if anybody asks me the question is, looking at the last 10 years, Pasco was ranked number 24th consistently over 10 years as the 24th fastest growing city in the nation. and Pasco is growing tremendously fast, and with that comes unique challenges and issues for both the city and the county. And so our relationship in the past, there's been times when we wished it was better, and I'm thankful and excited to tell you that we've been growing closer and closer in our relationship with the city of Pasco, and look forward to a long and fruitful relationship with them. The city of Pasco is the county seat for all of our actions, and almost all of our business happens inside of the Pasco courthouse, but with a county that's growing so fast and expanded needs, we do have satellites where we do some of our business in other areas. And looking down the road and the growth projections that we have, we will have need in the not too distant future for some type of expansion. And so we look forward to beginning that conversation. And we've begun the conversation, but we'll continue to expand that conversation in the not too distant future. Franklin County by the numbers. We have our budget for county operations is $50 million. 75% of our expenses are in salary and benefits. And as we've recently gone through some in-depth studies, we run one of the leanest counties in the state, and the way that was measured is a number of employees per resident, and this is the way that they measured is we're at 3.9 employees per 1,000 residents, and that was the lowest numbers that were represented on that list. And some of our comparable counties had in excess of six county employees per 1,000 residents. So our county runs a very lean operation. More than half of our budget goes to public safety and the courts. We handle municipal district and superior courts in Franklin County, and we're responsible for more than 1,000 miles of roadway. And so our public works department are kept very busy doing that. And along with that, we have a number of, memory serves me correct, I didn't write this down, but I believe we have 4 bridges that are either just getting finished or are just getting underway of replacement in our rural areas, crossing some of our wasteways and canals out in the county, and that's a big project. Demographics, Franklin County is approximately 100,000 residents. Nearly 60% of those residents are Latino, and combined our area, Benton Franklin counties, we've surpassed 320,000 people. We're kind of turning into a grown-up area. It's as a developer myself, I've studied a lot, and I've been told that as you cross the 300,000, you kind of go from a little town to a big town. And so I think we can now say that we're in a big town because we've passed that threshold. Agriculture in Franklin County. This is an old chart, and I wasn't able to get it updated, but I think if you look at the trend there, the agricultural economy in Franklin County has well surpassed $1 billion a year. And so that scale continues to grow, and we're thankful for the ag economy that we have. As a part of the breadbasket of the Pacific Northwest, I love farming and ranching and driving out through the spring. The spring is my favorite time of year. You get some warm, sunshiny days like we have today, and driving out through the new life, the new growth that farming has, and I just really appreciate that. Looking at some of the challenges that we currently face, counties don't have some taxing authority, and in the last number of years, it's been a few years back, but there was legislation passed that you can only increase your budget by 1% per year, and that creates some unique challenges. Ways that could be addressed potentially is you could do a levy lid lift, but that has to go before the voters, and the voters are not interested in that at this time, and that's something that we do not plan to put before the voters. Looking into the Franklin County on a financial side of things, and some of the forecasting, historical and forecast on our population growth. We've grown 1.9% year over year for the last 10 years, and we predict that may stay there or slightly decline. Median household income historically and forecast is to stay at about 4.5%. Home values have risen around our entire area. Historically, over the last 10 years, 9.4% growth, and forecasted growth is to cool off there a little bit, but still to remain robust. Historical sales per household, you can see those numbers, and the people per household is forecasted to remain about the same. And so with growth like this, but your budget can only grow at 1%, it creates some unique challenges. Some of the reasons why that our employees per 1,000 capita is what it is because we haven't had the ability to grow, and while we're still filling our statutory obligations, it can be tight sometime, and the conversations can get difficult of how to manage and maintain a budget. Sales forecast, looking forward, some of the projections that we have right now, and a little bit of the history of where that's going, some of our beliefs, property tax forecast. Most of this is fairly mirrored, not completely, but for the most part is mirrored. Our expense forecast. And then to the topic that is we don't really hear on a day-to-day basis, but is one of the largest challenges that we face as Franklin County is some of the unfunded mandates that are coming down from the state. In this case, currently the Office of Public Defense and the Public Attorney's Office are facing funding issues. Recently, the state changed the rules for case counts, and that means increased costs for the Office of Public Defense. With the costs that we've incurred and some of the mandates that have come down, we believe that it's potential that we'll go from our 2023 expense was $2.3 million, and with those new rules, we believe that a projection could reach well over $6 million, and that's tripling, and that's really hard to absorb. That type of an increase with a budget like we have in Franklin County. Because of the new or the indigent offense means those rules mean that lawyers have they have to have a lot of experience. So just some of the information of what that means. The unfunded mandates, Uniform Guardian Act means courts need to appoint counsel to each parent of a minor. The budget has already been exceeded this year for those requirements, and so it's something that we're going to have to address in Franklin County, and I'm sure Benton County is working to address that as well. Some of the unfunded mandates and some of the stuff, they send a requirement, this is what you have to do, and either they don't fund it at all or they only fund it, like in that case of courts must provide interpreters, but they only reimburse 50% of it. And so it's some challenging conversations we're having to have. Recently we used $900,000 in ARPA funding to keep that system afloat, and so we've got some unique challenges. With unique challenges come unique opportunities, and some of those unique opportunities is we're growing rapidly. There's a lot of economic growth in our county, and so with that, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for this opportunity. Excited to work with our partners in Franklin County and look forward to a successful 2024. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you again, Commissioner Bauman. And again, some exciting times in Franklin County, but not without their challenges, of course. So next we're going to hear from Benton County Commissioner Michael Alvarez. Commissioner Alvarez began serving Benton County in January of 2023 to represent District 2, which includes Prosser, Benton City, and portions of Richland, Kennewick, Patterson, and the Horse Heaven Hills area. He previously served as the mayor of Richland and was on the Richland City Council for 5 years. Commissioner Alvarez is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps and currently serves as a member of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary under the Department of Homeland Security. He has volunteered his time with the Blue Mountain Council Boy Scouts of America, the National Child Identification Program, Richland National Little League, and many more. Commissioner Alvarez is a graduate of New Mexico State University. He and his wife of more than 33 years own and operate a successful local financial company. So please help me welcome Commissioner Michael Alvarez.
Thank you all for attending. Benton County is doing great. You guys all have a great day, and thank you. Did I get your guys' attention? All right. So let me go ahead and grab my glasses here. Mike Gonzalez, you snuck that video in on me. We do compete a little bit once in a while. We've known each other for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead. A lot of the things we're going to talk about today, you've kind of heard already, going second from Franklin County. But, I'm going to go ahead and answer a question that I get a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about what county commissioners do, what the Board of Commissioners do, those type of things here in just a minute. But first, I want to go ahead and once again say my name is Michael Alvarez. I'm one of your 3 Benton County Commissioners. I do want to go ahead and take the time to go ahead and thank my other 2 peers, Commissioner Delvin, which is down here in front, Commissioner McKay, for allowing me to speak on behalf of the county. I also want to acknowledge our 2 county administrators. County Administrator Jared McPherson, you said you would go ahead and do your parade wave. And then also our Deputy County Administrator, Matt Rasmussen. They do a lot of work here in the community. And again, thank you for attending the State of the County address. So here's what I get a question from. I was buying some Girl Scout cookies in the front yard in my neighborhood, and the mother was there, and I was giving a patch out that they can put out there from the CEO of the Girl Scouts that basically was, I sold cookies to a VIP. So I gave that to the Girl Scout, and Mom says, hey, what do you do? I says, I'm a county commissioner. What do county commissioners do? So I'm going to go ahead and explain that first, kind of show you what the Board of Commissioners do, what our staff does, and then I'm going to go into the state of the county. We're going to talk about energy, the economy, public safety, all those type of things as we go through. So here we go. They are administrators, county commissioners are administrators, and their primary function is the financial management of taxpayers' dollars and how they're spent to provide services to its citizens of Benton County, including partnerships with all the cities in the county, the ports, and in some cases, Franklin County. Commissioners also set policies and ordinances. And so here's the things that we oversee and we're responsible for here at the Board of Commissioners. Once again, finance and budgets. We set and approve the budgets for all areas of county government. That includes budgets for the assessor, auditor, clerk, coroner, district court, superior court, juvenile justice center, prosecuting attorney, sheriff, and treasurer. We're responsible for public works such as county roads. Keep in mind, Benton County has 1,700 square miles. We also oversee a household waste collection facilities, so all the facilities within the county, including the Law and Justice Center campus, and other several facilities, including the courthouse in Prosser. We also oversee the Office of Public Defense, so public defenders, human services, such as providing funding and support for local businesses, the homelessness, substance abuse, and so on, community development, so all building, planning, canine shelter, code enforcement, and so on, risk management for all the departments, security for the Law and Justice campus, and security for courtroom security, the Department of Corrections, so the county jail, parks and events centers, such as the fairgrounds and other parks within the county, capital improvement projects. So all the different buildings within the county, we're responsible for those as well. And we have a lot of those projects going on that we'll talk about. We're responsible for all the trucks, cars, side-by-sides, mowers, construction, all the different things that it takes to run a county. Procurement, so it doesn't matter if it's pens, papers, cars, trucks, computers. We're responsible for making sure we provide all those items for all the departments within the county. IT, so information technology, is under the realm of the Board of Commissioners. Sustainable development, so communications. And then I think what Stephen was also talking about, not only do we have those responsibilities, we also serve on different boards and commissions within the county. So to give you an example, we all share those. I know County Commissioner Jerome Delvin has different boards and commissions he serves. This is kind of an example of what we also do. So here's my additional duties. Benton Franklin Health District Board Member, Greater Columbia Behavioral Health Board, Benton Franklin Council of Governments for Transportation, Benton County Emergency Services Board Member, Energy Community Alliance, Benton Franklin Left Disability, Yakima Fish and Wild Recovery Board, Yakima Basin Integrated Plan for Water Rights, Benton City Library Capital Facilities Board, Prosser Economic Development Board, Metro Drug Task Force Board, the Law and Justice Council. Washington State Association of Counties Legislative Steering Committee, Washington State Association of County Board of Directors, and so on. We also partner with our assessor, auditor, clerk, coroner, district court, juvenile justice, prosecuting attorney, superior court, treasurer, city manager, city councils, mayor's courts, and other county and state governments, along with many others. So as you can see, Benton County, county commissioners and staff have a wide range of duties and responsibilities, and we end up pivoting from one issue to another, and we do that pretty well. And we're always working very, very hard to move the bar for success from good, better to best here in Benton County. All right, that being said, let's go to economic development. I'm going to go ahead. Staff had given me a lot of information, so you're going to see me read a lot, but I promise there's a lot of different items. I will go ahead and take off my reading glasses and talk about some of these issues as well. So the first one is economic development. Keeping in mind a local and regional economic, keep in mind our local and regional economy is strong, vibrant, and diversified. It's obviously that's a priority to everybody in this room, and this topic is what I'm going to lead on first with. There are 3 programs that Benton County has had the opportunity to be part of, and I would like to highlight them. The first is the Business Resource Initiative Program, and we have been a part of that for the last 2 years. BRI was designed to provide assistance to small businesses as we emerge from the pandemic. Benton County has contributed $3 million in relief and resilience, I can't pronounce that, relief funds towards the program to help local small businesses. So $3 million to help local small businesses. I specifically want to recognize Stephanie Bernard, who crafted the vision for BRI while she was at the chamber, and Tracy Booth was here just about 10 minutes ago or so at the chamber for working on and implementing the program and making it a success. Next, most of you are already familiar with the Rural Capital Fund, Rural County Capital Fund. That program uses a sales tax rebate to assist 5 cities, 2 ports in the county with certain economic development projects. We currently have ongoing projects with all 7 of our partners that are in some stages of completion. The Rural County Capital Fund has invested $19 million, once again, $19 million in the county in the last 8 years. Finally, I'd like to go ahead and recognize the City of Richland, what the City of Richland has done as a lead for the targeted urban areas. So you guys are being mentioned. Richland is the first community in the state to implement this new opportunity and the laws allow Benton County government to join in a partnership to offer certain tax incentives for the purpose of attracting new, larger scale industrial manufacturing projects that will keep our economy strong and create jobs here in Benton and Franklin County. There are currently 3 new targeted urban area projects in various phases of development with a combined total new investment of approximately $1.5 billion. That's huge for our area, $1.5 billion. All right, if I go ahead and do this right here. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about energy. So one of the many things we're proud of here in Benton County is being the energy capital of the Northwest. Did you know that 90% of Benton County's energy is clean energy through hydro and nuclear? We're particularly excited about the Department of Energy's Clean Up to Clean Energy initiative and what it might mean for the future missions of the Hanford site, as we look forward to doing our part with all our community partners and bringing small modular reactors to Washington State as part of the nuclear renaissance. We are proud of being a pro-energy community, but that doesn't mean we support all proposals. Currently, there are proposals for 4 large solar and wind farm projects totaling tens of thousands of acres in size around Benton County. Most of these proposals are now electing to bypass our local electeds in cities and counties. All these projects accumulate that they will have an increasing impact on our agricultural lands, wildlife, and views. This doesn't mean we're opposed to considering new projects, but it does mean we want to allow the community to look closely at what's going on and the impacts of these larger scale projects. You're familiar with the Horseheaven Hills wind farm proposal, that the State Review Council has recommended for a modified approval to the governor last week. As originally proposed, the project would have had 250 wind turbines stretching 24 miles across the Horseheaven Hills, plus a 6,000-acre farm, solar farm. The Chamber of Commerce conducted a survey, I think approximately 2 years ago, with nearly 2,200 respondents that found that 79% of people that responded opposed to the project for a number of reasons. And remember, that's just one of the 4 proposals working its way currently here in Benton County. Benton County supports clean energy with a good energy economy, but we need to take careful considerations on the projects that are going to impact us here locally. All right, public safety. The public safety sales tax was slated to sunset this year, end. In 2023, Benton County decided to go to the voters and ask if that sunset should be removed via Proposition 1. If passed, it passed with an overwhelming 70% of approval rating. Thank you very, very much for that. We worked very hard to go ahead and make sure that we educated the public on that in Benton County. In fact, 70% of the voters wanted to keep the PSST at the same current rate with no sunset. Also important to note, this was not a new tax. It was not an increase in tax. What does the PSST fund? Across the county in 5 cities, the PSST funds 24 sheriff's deputies, 4 prosecuting attorneys, 1 Superior Court judge, supporting staff, as well as body-worn cameras and other critical equipment, 15 police officers in Kennewick, 11 police officers in Richland, 3 police officers in Prosser, and 2 police officers, 3 police officers in West Richland, and 2 police officers in Prosser. Lastly, anytime you would like to go ahead and look at what the PSST funds are being spent on, you can go to our website at bentoncountywa.gov. We're going to go to the Juvenile Justice Center now. All right, the Juvenile Justice Center is located on Canal and opened in the 1970s, and it's in desperate need of upgrades. It is pretty wore out, to be honest with you. Our crews have done a great job in keeping it going for the last 4 decades. We have our design team built, under contract, looking at how we can go ahead and repair that. The remodel is expected to be completed at the end of 2025 at a cost of $20 million. Here's some stats, though, for you. Juvenile justice plays a very important role in the community. In 2023, nearly 10,000 hearings were scheduled in juvenile justice, 10,000, including criminal cases, truancy cases, dependency cases, trial, as well as first appearance hearings. In 2023, the average daily population of the Juvenile Justice Center was just over 22 youths, with an average length stay of just under 14 days. We have, next is the law and justice, law enforcement. Perfect. In the past year, our law enforcement individuals would use they were practicing at a range that was in a field. That's the bottom line. So we ended up, and then during the summertime and fall time, they wouldn't be able to go ahead and practice there. It was too hot because of fire damage, those type of things like that, too dry. So we ended up building this just outside of Rattlesnake by the Rattlesnake firing range there. That was a cost of $1.4 million, and that was funded by the PSST tax. The finished training area included a range, a large classroom where agencies can go ahead and gameplay situations. The facility also allows Benton County to host other law enforcement agencies that need year-round shooting range, as well as to go ahead and sharpen their skills. Red Mountain. I'm on the BCS, which is the Benton County Emergency Services. I think that's an important one. We're doing a lot of work there. Red Mountain. Let me if I can go ahead and get that there. We're replacing a radio tower there. So the areas of Benton City and low-lying areas of Benton City, a lot of those areas don't have radio communication for our first responders. So there's dark spots within that area there. So we're currently putting a radio tower up there. It's been a lot of work. That will make sure that our first responders can get to where they need to get to people that need help, as well as people that are able to go ahead and communicate back and forth. So we need EMTs here, we need deputies here. We're going to make sure that they have the help they need on that. That should be completed sometime in November. The K-9 shelter. Has everybody heard about the K-9 shelter? It's been kind of in the paper the last few weeks. So we're excited to go ahead and share some information about the K-9 shelter. The shelter houses at-large dogs that are found in rural portions of the county and houses them until their owners can be found or where they can go ahead and find a new home. The shelter also works to house any dogs that are deemed dangerous or potentially dangerous. To help meet the growing need in rural Benton County, we decided to expand the capacity of the shelter as well as increase staffing. So we're going to go ahead, we're looking at hiring additional staffing on that. And this has been an ongoing thing with the county. I've looked at the research on that. I had civil attorneys come in. We've had staff come in. We've talked about that. This has been an ongoing issue for the last 25 to 30 years. I want to end that. I know our other county commissioners want to end that. Our staff does. So what we're going to go ahead and do, it's never been done here in the county before, is we're going to go ahead and make sure we hire additional staff. We're going to expand the K-9 shelter, and that additional staff will have someone on 24/7. So we'll have this going on 24/7 versus 8 to 5. So if there's a call out there in need, we'll make sure that we can go ahead and handle it here in Benton County. So that's a very important thing. I think we had a special workshop for the public to attend, and I think all the attendees in there were satisfied with that. So that's a very positive thing. I think that'll help fix an issue that's been there for the last, like I said, the last 25 to 30 years. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to, I'm using my button, I promise. Whoops. Oh, there we go. I'm very passionate about this. 2 years ago, two and a half years ago when I was running for this office, we were talking about the Columbia Valley Center for Recovery. And I don't think it would be fair if I didn't go ahead and mention someone that's just as passionate about this as me. So I'm going to do something a little unorthodox. I know this gentleman has put his blood, sweat, and tears, personal time, work time in on this. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my Deputy County Administrator, Matt Rasmussen, because I think it's fair for him to talk about this.
Thank you. I imagine many of you have heard about the project that the county's working on over there at the old KGH hospital. We refer to it now as the Columbia Valley Center for Recovery. So it's going to be a facility that will act as a one-stop shop for people who are suffering from mental health or substance use-related crisis. It's going to provide immediate assessment and treatment for those in need and provide long-term stabilization and recovery for everyone in this community. The facility is going to provide a new option for local law enforcement and emergency medical responders to take people who are suffering from crisis. Right now, their only option is to take them to jail or the emergency room, and neither one of those are good choices. The county has selected Comprehensive Health Care to operate this facility, and we're working with a team led by Bauman Construction to design and build it. The project is in schematic design currently and is expected to complete construction at the end of 2025. It will open for operation shortly after that. The total project cost is $28.5 million. It's funded by a combination of state and federal grants and local sales tax revenue, which the county commissioners instituted a few years ago through the 1/10 of 1% chemicals dependency and mental health sales tax. The operational costs will also be funded by that same sales tax, along with services that we can bill for to Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance. This is just the first phase, though, that we're talking about. It's only going to take up about 25% of the space that we have in that facility. Future phases are going to include things like recovery housing, outpatient treatment services that aren't currently in the community, crisis treatment for youth, which we don't have in this community or statewide. It's a huge need, and it's something that we want to bring to this region to be a leader in that field. Aside from the obvious health and safety benefits that we'll see in our community, this stands to be an economic boon for the downtown Kennewick area. It's going to return a major employer that was lost in that area when the hospital relocated to Southridge. This will help area businesses recover and also potentially drive new retail and restaurant options in that location. I can't speak enough about this project and not mention our partners in this, which is the Benton Franklin Recovery Coalition. Their efforts to bring this need forward truly show what can be accomplished with a grassroots effort and a public-private partnership. That's what, I really hope everyone appreciates what's going on out there, and I do have a lot of passion for it, and I will turn it back over to Commissioner Alvarez.
All right, I know that one of my peers, County Commissioner Stephen Bauman, was talking about this a little bit, Office of Public Defense. So this is going to be, I'm going to talk about two challenges. One of the major challenges I think we have in Benton County is OPD, Office of Public Defense. And then as we go a little bit further into it, I'm going to talk about the budget and where all counties are on this. And I'm talking a little faster because my friend Stephen went a little over time, I think. So I'm going to pick on you a little bit later. So Benton County Commissioners and staff oversee the Office of Public Defense. For those who don't know, the Office of Public Defense, or OPD, is tasked with ensuring anyone facing criminal charges in Benton County is provided an attorney free of charge. Our OPD office and other counties across the state are facing a variety of challenges as well. There is a huge shortage of attorneys right now. Benton County, though, has been very proactive in this by doing the following: increase the compensation it pays for public defenders who work for Benton County's OPD office. We've have reached out to private practice attorneys and asked them if they would go ahead and be willing to take on XYZ amount of cases, whether it's 30 cases or 40 cases, because a lot of them want to go ahead and keep their private practice still. But they're willing to go ahead and do community service and work and maybe take that 30 or 40 or 50 cases. So we've been pretty flexible on that. That's something that's kind of unique in our area that we've been able to go ahead and foresee and do. We've also go ahead and also looked at doing internships with neighboring law schools, neighboring states that have law schools, such as Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and our state as well, and doing internships and maybe splitting the internship where we do it half the summer and then Franklin County takes it on the other half of the summer. And maybe if they graduate, who knows, if they want to stay close to family in the Northwest here, they can come and move here to the Tri-Cities and serve on one of those counties. We've also talked about student forgiveness. And if we have someone that wants to serve as a public defender here in Benton County for XYZ amount of years, maybe we can go ahead and do student forgiveness as well. So we're doing all those things and really trying to troubleshoot the situation. Also, we've also funded many programs like drug court, veterans court, mental health court. So we're really pivoting and we're really trying to make those changes here so that we can go ahead and have alternative programs as well. I know on Law and Justice Council, with all our police chiefs, our sheriff, city council members, mayors, city managers, we're all talking and trying to see how we can go ahead and pivot and make this still a very robust public safety here within Benton County. But the state has given us a challenge, and I'm going to be very honest with you. Superior Court, for example, and I know that Stephen, I know you're as passionate as I am about this. Superior Court, so for felony cases, currently right now, if it's a felony cases, attorneys that can do felony cases, the case cap is 150. And by golly, those attorneys that do public defense for felony cases, they'll reach that 150 pretty easy. The state's looking at taking that down from 150 to 47. Now you can see the challenge, 150 to 47. In district court, I believe, for hit and runs, domestic violence, those type of things, it goes down. And before I say that, I want to give an example. I was in district court for about 2.5 hours, and when I was in district court for 2.5 hours, just in one courtroom, there was about 25 individuals that needed a public defender in one courtroom. So you can see those number of cases can just explode. And so they're going to reduce the caseload. That was a cap in district court from 400 down to 120. So we have a shortage of attorneys. We're doing everything we can, but if the state approves it to where it goes from 150 cases for felonies down to 47, and then a district court from 400 to 120, it's going to create more challenges for us. And I believe the state really wants us to look at alternative programs other than jail. Here in Benton County, we're actually doing those things, and we're still being proactive on that, but you're going to see some challenges in the future. Is that going to be a ripple effect here as far as public safety? Maybe. Is it going to have an effect potentially on our economy and retail stores, brick and mortar stores? Maybe. So those are the things we have to look at in the short term, mid-term, and long term on that. We will continue to work hard on that. We'll work with the state. We'll work with neighboring counties as well and see how we can go ahead and accomplish to kind of raise that bar from good, better to best. As far as the budget, I'm very passionate about that. There's a lot of things I can joke around with. I've been labeled a numbers guy and a finance guy, but when it comes to money, I don't joke. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit as well. We have the 2023-2024 budget is balanced currently right now, which is a good thing. We're starting to go into our 2025, we do a biannual budget. We're starting to go into our 2025 and 2026 biannual budget. We'll be doing that this year. It's going to be tighter. I know that counties right now have huge financial challenges. One of my neighboring counties, another neighboring county, I believe Yakima County, I was reading, that they just took money out of the reserve funds to put in their general funds to keep critical services and keep services going in Yakima County. I was given an article about King County, which has a lot of density as far as residential commercial, that they're having huge financial challenges. So this year, we're going to be proactive. I'm expecting if we don't turn our ship around, and I'm very serious when it comes to money, in the next 3.5 to 4 years, and I think we've talked to staff, commissioners have talked to, that we could be in that same situation. Benton County is good right now, but we're going to have to go ahead and have some tenacity. There's already line items that we've looked at where we can combine to save money for the county, which is a good thing because if we're saving money at the county, guess what? That saves taxpayers money as well. And we're also going to go ahead and look at reallocating funding as necessary for some departments that maybe have got too big, and switch it to where we need to go ahead and reallocate those fundings for other departments as well. So we're working on that. We have challenges ahead, but I can promise you that we will do the right thing, and we're good here in Benton County. We're very fortunate from the staff we've had to make sure that, and as a matter of fact, one of our staff members wrote this, and I believe in this strongly, and I'll move on. At Benton County, we believe in ongoing financially sound business practices, strong financial management, and a conservative approach to spending. I think that's huge. We're going to continue to practice that and continue to provide the services that everybody expects, the 210,000 people that our staff and our county commissioners represent. Moving next to the Election Center. This is a fun one. So we're currently remodeling the old Kennewick Fire Station on the west end of Kennewick, of our Kennewick campus, and it'll be a dedicated election center. Current election center is off campus near the old Chuck E. Cheese, if you've been here around for a while, off of Columbia Center Boulevard. The facility, at that facility, roughly costs $10,000 per month. So we're moving it to our campus. This project also includes parking and driveway changes to incorporate into the new election center building to the campus. The renovation and driveway parking sidewalk improvements will cost approximately $2.5 million, which comes out of our capital improvement budget. One key area of emphasis for us in recent years has been legislative and congressional outreach and cooperation, and this takes in many forms. In particular, I want to acknowledge our two key representatives, the Washington State Association of Counties and the National Association of Counties. And I definitely want to go ahead and thank the hardworking legislators from around the state, especially around our 8th, 15th, and 16th districts, for all of their help in passing key legislation. Well, I can't speak, my mouth is getting dry. Key legislation and in aiding our county in some of our projects and helping us with our funding needs. Moving on to our partnerships. You probably noticed the theme in my presentation today, and that is partnerships with Benton County. We cannot do things here without partnerships and without the assistance and support of our many partners, which includes all the cities, ports, the Chamber of Commerce, thank you, Lori, TRIDEC, and many other community organizations and nonprofits and businesses. Together we can accomplish much more than anyone could alone. Once again, thank you for attending the State of the County Address. I kind of went fast. I did that on purpose. Although Benton County does have some challenges, we're in very good shape. We have great staff, and the commissioners are working very, very hard in some of those challenges, once again, to raise the bar from good, better to best. I really appreciate everybody being here, and everybody have a good day. Thank you.